So in order to make shrimp tacos, I like to make mine with a little bit of slaw as accompaniment. So sometimes I buy the pre-bagged coleslaw mix, which is perfectly fine. Today at the market, they actually had really cheap heads of cabbage, so I'm going to actually use that instead. With cabbage, they're so tightly wound that all you have to do is actually shave, not shave, but just pull off some of the outer leaves, and then you can get, to the clean inside and don't have to do any extra washing, which I always appreciate because who wants to get out the salad spinner? As you see here, I actually, from my produce, I always save a bag and just use that next to my cutting board so I don't have to run back and forth in the trash can, which saves me a lot of time. So with cabbage, I like to cut off the bottom and discard that. Then I actually like to cut it in half because that way, as you can see, there's a core here. So you want to actually remove the core, and then you can cut into really thin slivers the cabbage head. So just pull that out and throw that out, then on both sides. So I don't know about you, but I love coleslaw. Coleslaw is, I think I'm a true German in that I love sauerkraut and anything that's made with cabbage. But even for people who aren't coleslaw fans, I feel like they actually end up liking this Mexican coleslaw because it's not vinegar based. I actually do lime juice as my acid, and then some cilantro, which really helps to brighten it up a lot and make it a really refreshing versus overly weighed down with mayonnaise. Now this is going to make a good amount of slaw, more than I'm going to be able to use in these tacos. So I'll have to think about ways that I can use this later in the week. Slaws actually do really well on top of burgers, or you can use it with, believe it or not, Asian food. So a lot of times if I make a pad thai or if I make a braised pork dish, this is actually a great topper to add a little bit of crunch and acidity to something that's really, really savory. So once I get all that shredded, what I like to do is so I save myself multiple bowls to actually make the dressing in the bowl I'm going to make the slaw in. So all we do is we take a little bit of mayonnaise. Any kind of mayonnaise works well. I actually like to use canola mayonnaise because I find that it's actually lower cal and still has a great creamy flavor. So I use about 2 spoonfuls of that. Then my trick is actually to use artificial sweetener because it dissolves really quickly. It's a little bit sweeter than true sugar, and it saves me some calories. So just add, about 2 teaspoons of that. And then we've got limes, and that's going to be our acid. So in this, and then just squeeze them right into the bowl, save ourselves some dishes. So this will probably take about 2 limes because these are kind of hard, not super juicy limes. But if you kind of want to see, you want the dressing to be a little bit of a consistency of like a lotion almost, like a thin lotion versus super, super thick. So you want to be able to evenly coat the slaw. And the reason I'm making the slaw first is that it needs time for the acid to actually break down some of the cabbage. So you want to do this first because otherwise if you wait, it's not actually going to marinate enough and you're not going to feel like the flavors actually combine enough. So here you can use a whisk. Let me grab one. So just whisk this up. And as you can see here, it's like a thin, like pancake batter almost-esque consistency to it. And then all you have to do, and it's quite tasty if I must say, all you have to do is actually add in your sliced cabbage, break it up a little bit so it kind of pulls apart. And given actually how big this head of cabbage is, I think I'm just going to go with the half of it because this is going to be more than enough slaw for tonight and some leftovers. So you just want to grab a spoon. And this is a bit messy, so get prepared to kind of put your hands in there as well to kind of keep it all in check. And then you could add your salt to your dressing before you add the cabbage, but I actually like to add the salt after because salt actually draws out the moisture of the vegetable, and so I feel like the cabbage gets exposed to more of the salt each piece if you don't put it in the dressing, but you actually put it on the dish itself as you mix stuff in. So the thing I love about kosher salt actually is it's more of a flake salt, So it actually has more surface area, so it dissolves more quickly. Even though the fact that it's a chunkier salt than you would get with a table salt. So I always recommend using kosher salt. So here we've got, the cabbage fully coated with the dressing. I'm gonna save this for later. And now I want to add a little bit of freshness. So with cilantro, it's actually really thin stems, so you can actually be pretty aggressive and include some of the stems in your chopping. So just kind of get it to a point where you're releasing the oils and going back and forth. I love cilantro. I think cilantro should be in everything, but that's just my own personal preference. And there are people who don't like cilantro, so you can leave it out, but I prefer it in. So just get a nice medium chop on this, nothing too small, because I don't like to release all the oil. I want some of the oil to be in there, so when you take a bite, you actually get a little bit of that flavor. So we just add this right on in to our slaw and mix it on up. And then what I like to do is actually put this in the refrigerator, because you want to keep slaw really cold, because what's supposed to be is a nice refreshing bite with these shrimp tacos. So you want to make sure that you keep it cool, and plus there's a lot of mayo, so you don't want it to go bad. And so I'll just throw this in the fridge. No need to cover it, because we're only going to leave it in the fridge for a couple minutes, and we'll start on our shrimp tacos next.